Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Squared Circle Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Alberto El Pastor, and with me as always is Johnny Magus.
I feel a little bit robbed to be Johnny Magus.
You get abs! Fuck you!
That's true. I do get abs. Abs like I've never had before.
Exactly. So, Mike, what's good? What's happening? What's new in the world of the wrestling?
New in the world of wrestling. Not new, but I learned today that Justin Gabriel, aka PJ Black, lost a finger.
Is that because he picks his nose way too hard?
Nah, it was a base climbing accident.
A likely story. That's what they want you to believe in the centralist media, the bleeding heart centralist media.
So PJ Black, best 9-fingered wrestler on the planet.
Best 9-fingered character since Frodo.
True.
Yay! So, Raw was a thing.
It was a solid thumbs in the middle.
It was the bar. Yeah, I skipped a lot of stuff. I would say the bar versus the Revival was good. Bailey's match had its moments. Not really sure why they did John Cena versus Goldust, but Goldust was awesome.
The match itself was a bit lacking, but I liked the interplay between the two.
Yeah. I was kind of wanted a feud between, well, I kind of want a feud between Goldust and really anybody, to be honest, but that's a thing. And, well, we got I popped pretty big for the Hardy Compound announcement, so that's pretty cool.
Yep, that's cool.
Other than that, you're going to have to fill in some details, because I'm looking at the card going, I don't remember any of that.
So, we opened up with Kurt Angle calling out Triple H, he wants a fight, blah, blah, blah. Stephanie comes out to emasculate him by pointing out that, you need this job. You've got an ex-wife and 5 kids.
Well, he does have that, yeah, I guess.
He does. I'm not sure. Are they counting Jason Jordan as one of the kids, though? Like, does he actually have 4?
That's a good question.
I'm just wondering.
I'll do some research.
Just wondering how strong the kayfabe is on that, actually. I didn't really understand why Coach was offended by the word journalist. That was a bit weird. Because Corey Graves called him a pseudo-journalist, and he seemed to get very worked up about that.
Well,
and not the pseudo part. Like, he was worked up about the journalist part, and then Graves is like, I said pseudo. He's like, oh, okay, then.
That's a weird. That's a weird
one.
It's
a bit weird because Coach not supposed to be the journalist of the 3, really.
Yes.
Ronda came out there. Ronda wanted Stephanie McMahon at Mania. Steph wanted to weasel out by basically claiming she wasn't an active member of the roster, therefore she wasn't subject to the contract. Triple H came out after being said he was not here. Comes out to yell at Angle to stop pretending to be a tough guy. What the hell was that?
Well, I mean, he's obviously the one writing Selena Vega's promos. We now know that for a fact.
He's like, it's time to put your gold medals away and stop acting like a tough guy, and the tough guy you're supposed to be. Are you implying Kurt Angle is not a tough guy? Because
that would be foolish.
The Olympic gold medalist who wrestled with a broken neck is, if nothing, tough. We get to Kurt Angle actually really doing some of the better work here, pointing out that Steph has 2 contracts. She has an executive contract and a superstar contract, as does Triple H. And this is going to lead to the Olympians versus the McMahon-Helmsley era tag team match at Mania. And
as predicted. The only thing I thought was going to be different was they were going to have Henry Rollins. No, sorry. I'm sorry, Henry. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it.
Seth Rollins.
I didn't mean it. Yeah, Seth Rollins in there because he doesn't have anything to fucking do. You know what they're going to do? They're going to have Mr. Rollins challenge the Bar and 75 other people for the open title tag match thing. And they'll probably put it on before the pre-show dark match.
Rollins is going to be the Intercontinental title match. That's what that's going to be. It's going to be Miz, Balor, and Rollins.
Gross.
It could be good. Balor and Rollins do good work with each other. I don't think that Balor has great chemistry with The Miz, which I put more on The Miz to be clear. I think Rollins and Miz can work well together, so I don't know. That'll be good. it'd be nice to get the Intercontinental title a little bit of shine. Because that and the U.S. title have been really super ignored in the last couple of years. Which makes me sad. Anyways, Stephanie gets up in Kurt's face and backs down from Ronda Rousey. Triple H is like, no, we don't do this, no. And then he tries to sucker punch Kurt and gets his ass kicked.
Your official answer on the Kurt Angle child count, he has 5 children that he sired himself with his penis. And then she just kind of forgot that Jason Jordan kayfabe. So not kayfabe. Good job, Steph, gotcha. You fucking retard.
Stephanie jumped Ronda from behind, and Ronda did give her the fall to a knee off of her back attack, but basically didn't sell at all, which is how that should go. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, Steph and Triple H are getting the hell out of there. Ronda did eat a Samoan drop from Ronda. During the Samoan drop, it made me realize how big Steph is, because she is much bigger than Ronda. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't think that. I always knew she was taller than Ronda, specifically because she also wears the heels to emphasize that.
Well, yeah, but she hasn't had to work out since the late 90s. So.
Oh, I suspect she works out. I mean, realistically, she would have gone way more to fat if she didn't.
Possibly.
Then we had Asuka versus Nia Jax, and I didn't mind this match, but my first note here, as soon as they came out, was stop having this match.
Yes.
Because you have 2 big acts in the Raw women's division. They are 3 if you count Ronda, I suppose. But you have Jax, you have Asuka. Stop running them into each other, but save it for a freaking pay-per-view.
Yeah, you've got a
good one, not Elimination Chamber.
You've got a killer and a monster. And you never want them ever to meet, ever. Because that will ruin any hype you can possibly ever build for any of these things.
Yeah, we've seen Asuka now.
So what they do
We've seen Asuka beat Nia Jax 3 times now.
Yeah, and they just run it to death. It's like Hogan versus Flair. They were going to do Hogan versus Flair at WrestleMania, but they decided to make quick, cheap money. And so they ran them to death at house shows, and everybody had already seen it, and nobody cared about it.
But this isn't even making money.
Exactly. So it's like everybody pile in. You get to see. Well, they're making money due to attendance, but that's all they're making.
Yeah, but here's the thing. At no point was there advertising for this match.
There's no advertising for any of their matches.
That's my point. Is that you're not actually making any money because the people who bought tickets to see Raw. Bought tickets to see Raw without knowing they were getting Jax versus Asuka. And the people who didn't buy tickets to see Raw don't know that they are going to miss Nia Jax and Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not making money.
Exactly.
Like I said, they did good work with this match. It's just we need to stop seeing ways for Nia to lose and look kind of strong. Although she didn't look all that strong here because she did tap out.
No.
And then later on, Alexa Bliss gave her a the I'm trying to be your friend, but I really don't know what to say uplifting promo. That was kind of bad.
Well, I mean it was good in a way that it got Bliss some heel heat, but it's not gonna last because no one gives a shit. Because she's had such bad writing for so long. This is gonna have no impact.
Well, it's bad writing.
The only thing it does is get Nia Jax over as an actual credible human person that you can identify with, which is not what you want. You're monster heel, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, I mean you want to do this probably eventually because at some point the monster heel has to do something or they fade away.
Yeah,
but too early. You still got life. You got juice in the Nia Jax heel cloth.
Yeah.
And you're having her cry, you're having her break down, and I just don't think it's the right timing for that.
No, it's not at all. That's why they're doing it now.
And yeah, I mean, on the Bliss thing is you can't really generate sustained heel heat on Bliss because she's too weak. And that's the problem with a lot of WWE's heels right now is they're not legit threats. They have to have numbers game or ways to get out of it. I get it. The face is supposed to be stronger, braver to a degree than the heel. But the heel has to be someone who at least you believe can kick ass. Like, they maybe can't kick this face's ass, but they can kick the face below them's ass. And with The Miz, with Bliss, with a number of others, like, I don't believe you can kick any of the face's asses.
No, not at all. And also, since they're saddling her with Mickie James, they've jobbed out Mickie James for, 2 years now? So, Mickie James is not a credible bodyguard / protector friend. So, what do you guys want to do here? Like, what's the upshot? What's the goal? Where do you possibly think you can go with this?
I mean, they're kind of doing the Charlotte thing when she had Dana Brooke, although in reverse, because the rookie is the bodyguard.
Yeah, but I mean, you got the rookie with muscles, and you're just like, hey, rookie, be my friend. Oh, yeah, go right ahead and run interference.
Well, the other thing I was going to get at is that Charlotte Flair was a believable badass. Like, she was a heel booked largely properly. We didn't like her because she was underhanded, but we also respected the skill in the ring. And with Bliss, there's none of that.
No, I mean, we've talked about it a bunch of times about how she's small, so she should be the small, fast one. She should be zooming around and doing super athletic things, and she's got an athletic background, and so she, quite frankly, should be doing these things that are super athletic, and she's not. She's, a matter of fact, she's often way slow to the mark.
Yeah, they believe heels shouldn't do those kind of things. Then we had the Revival in the bar. You talked about this. You enjoyed the match. I also did. Pretty solid.
Yeah, it was good technical tag team wrestling. I liked it.
Yeah. Bar winning in a non-title. The only thing is, like, I don't like that these are constantly non-title matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cesaro hit the Gotch neutralizer, which is very cool. Minoru Suzuki approves.
Indeed, he did a little different. It wasn't really a pile driver, it's more like a face buster.
Yeah, that's how he's always been doing it.
No, well, he's never hit it in my presence before, so...
Yeah, I know. It's like the completely forgotten move because he never hits it.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Gotch pile driver. Yeah, this was good. I mean, these are two tag teams that know what to do. If you gave them more time, you could have a fantastic match.
Yeah, I would give him a half an hour. I would love to see this over a half an hour, as long as Vince doesn't fucking try and stick his dick in there and book anything. Just let them fucking wrestle. These four guys could have one hell of a match.
Then we had the Cena Goldust bit that we talked about. I have nothing to add to the match. Cena went over. I was surprised it was their first time going head-to-head. Then I thought to myself, they were really never on the same brand when Goldust was kind of in peak Goldust form.
Yeah, that's true. And, well, I mean, when Goldust was at the top of the card and doing top-of-the-card things, Cena wasn't even wrestling. He wasn't even... Yep. He was not an active wrestler.
I'm thinking like the Booker T Goldust time when they were a tag team and Goldust was getting relatively high-profile matches. Cena was on Smackdown, Goldie was on Raw, so that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Goldust seemed a little bit awkward on the mic at a couple of points in this. Maybe like he didn't really believe in the script, or maybe this was like a very late arranged thing. Maybe.
I always go anytime I see a mistake on screen, or maybe somebody doesn't have great chemistry. I just assume that they got their shit straight. They knew what they were going to do. They're going to go out there and do it. And Vince probably grabbed a guy as his foot was out the curtain and went, no. I've got this great idea.
That's definitely possible. Like I said, Goldust is fantastic. Cena is fantastic. So,
yeah.
It didn't really live up to my expectations of what I thought from the two, but that also reflects my high expectations.
Yeah, no, I could, again, if you want to give the Revival in the bar 30 minutes to have a match, I'd give these guys an hour in the ring just talking. I would love to hear whatever the fuck came out of their mouths, because after about 15 minutes it's like, okay, here we go, we're out of really scripted stuff, let's just go with it.
We had Elias trying to weasel his way out of a match with Braun. The only thing I enjoyed was Kurt going, you have a good point. But his falls count anywhere now.
Yeah, I missed a bunch of these interactions because I was just skipping through stuff. I was literally just slapping the skip button forward. I was like, oh, well, this isn't working. Let me go forward 20 minutes. Oh, this isn't working. Let's go forward 20 minutes. Wow, this is poorly booked, and this is going to go exactly this way. Skip forward 5 minutes. They're still going. 5 more minutes. This is still going. 5. Okay. Yeah, no, this is still sucking. Skip, skibbity skip.
Then we had the Bayley versus Mandy Rose match. I liked parts of it. Parts of it weren't great, which makes sense. Mandy Rose still green. And a lot of this match relied on Sonya Deville's timing as a distraction, which is not a good plan.
Fuck, she's bad. She did none of those things correctly.
Yeah, no. No. So the payoff is Bayley gets the win, which is good. And, she's getting beat down. Sasha Banks comes to the rescue, wants a hug. Bayley don't give her no hug.
We don't hug no hoes.
So, interesting developments on the storyline and how that's going to go, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's going as good as I could really hope for, and I don't have hopes that are that high because I know that they're just going to book Bayley to lose in the end again.
I hope not, but that is my suspicion.
Yeah, it's just, she should just replace the word hugger on all of her gear with loser, because that's Bayley all she's allowed to do.
Jobber.
I'm a jobber.
After that, we had the Bliss Jax interaction, which we talked about already. So moving on.
Yeah, it's pretty much how I like I said. This is pretty much how I went at the entire episode. It was like moving on.
Then we had the Symphony of Destruction match between Braun and Elias. I thought this would be the main event, actually.
It fucking well should have been.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much great here. Elias showed off his drumming skills, which were adequate.
Didn't they give Elias, 40 minutes of random promo things to do? Because I remember skipping huge chunks of this. Just huge.
It wasn't 40 minutes, but it was a lot.
I swear to God. I think it's a rib. At this point, I swear it's just Vince fucking with the fans. Instead of saying things you want, here's more Elias!
He tries to flee the match by getting the lights to dim, but, well, he gets to his car, and Braun's there holding the car from accelerating away. I'm not done with you!
Yeah, that was a good spot. It's a good spot, Bubba.
And we ended up with, a somewhat creative plunder match with instruments. I'm perfectly fine with it. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it should have gone... you know what? I say it should have gone longer, but there's nothing you're going to be able to credibly do with Braun for longer than this went.
That's a fair point. Then we had Bray Wyatt versus Rhino. This is a squash match with some freaking out of Heath Slater portions to it, basically. And then this is also where we get the whole Hardy Compound announcement. So that's cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and Vanguard 1 is back!
And Skarsgård.
And Skarsgård the boat. We had the Mizzies. I have no comments on the Mizzies.
Skipped it.
This just was there to set up Miz Taraj versus Rollins and Balor. Fine. Sets up three-way. Moving on. Our main event is a Heyman promo. Fuck.
I would like to state for the fact that ordinarily I'd be very excited for a three-way, but
well, yeah, but it's not a three-way with these people.
Yep.
So, yeah. Good things about the Heyman promo. I enjoyed that he basically put the title over big, like what the title means and so on. I like that. Mm-hmm. He worked in Alpha and Sika into the promo. That was also pretty good.
Enjoyable.
And he did put Roman over a fair bit, which is what Paul Heyman does. He puts over Brock Lesnar's opponents, so if they beat Brock Lesnar, it fucking means something. And if Brock wins, it also fucking means something.
Yep.
Vince, please take notes. The only issue here is that he was kind of making the case for how hard it is to be the champ and listing all these things you have to do. And I'm just going in my head, these are none of the things that Brock does.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, is the only flaw. So, do you have anything else to add to the Raw?
No, not at all. It's, like I said, I skipped large portions of it because it was not interesting, and it was obviously poorly done, which I guess is the way you want things building up to WrestleMania, ?
Alright, then we'll go to Smackdown. We had Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott to lead us off, which is good. You know, starting with a match. Great idea. Well, it wasn't a match, but like something akin to teasing a match at least. And the only thing I found weird is that Charlotte was like really, really, really happy to see Bobby Roode. That was a bit bizarre.
Yeah, that I appreciate the fact that they are likely working this into some sort of kayfabe angle, so that's cool. But they really didn't do much. Like, she was super duper excited because he was coming out, and then nothing. Like, he was like there was no interaction. They cut right to commercial. When they came back, the Bobby Roode was on commentary, and that's
where Randy Orton,
we are now.
This is Jinder My Balls.
Yeah, Jinder My Balls on the commentary, I guess, was a thing. Or Bobby Roode on the commentary. Again, they don't... He's not a very good face. I don't understand.
He never has been. His time as a successful face has always been based off of like a tag team partner being a face. Mostly James Storm.
Yeah.
Who works very well as a face or a heel, which, man, I'm super down that James Storm, turned his back on NXT to go back to TNA to do the beer money thing, and then Bobby Roode just like, hey, but I'm going to NXT. Oh, fuck. I made the wrong call. To use James Storm's vernacular, sorry about your damn luck.
I'm very tired, very, very tired of Jinder Mahal. He is extremely one note and has not changed since this time last year.
Yeah, he's added more... Well, actually, he has changed. He's become less mature and more like high school bullshit promo. Like, this is Bobby Roode's secret list that he didn't even have Randy Orton on his top 10. I'm like, this is just getting worse, not better.
Yeah, I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. And he's a guy that's about my size, but in way better shape, doing high school shit? What?
Yeah, it's not really working, and this is totally going to lead to like a 3-way or some shit at Mania, which
nobody wants.
Well, I mean, and here's the additional problem: is you're setting up for a 3-way for the IC title and a 3-way for the US title. Talk about lazy booking, doing the exact same thing.
The only thing I can think of is maybe this is the Bobby Roode heel turn saga thing.
Oh, please God!
And he's going to join forces against Jinder Mahal, he's going to join forces against Randy Orton.
But then I have to have Randy Orton as a face.
I know it's the worst possible option, so that's what they're going to do. This is how it's going to work.
Well, no, it's not the worst possible option because honestly, Randy Orton makes a better face than Bobby Roode.
Oh, what if they try to make Jinder Mahal face?
God, no!
Sad.
Actually, you know what? That's the most interesting option. At least let's see how that goes. We know how Randy Orton and Bobby Roode play off his face, and it doesn't really work. Let's give Mahal a chance at least.
Yeah,
like with Mahal, we suspect that'll be terrible. It might not be.
That's true. I mean, they've never really tried to do that, so I guess it could be a thing.
Basically the match ends when Bobby Roode distracts Randy Orton to allow for a coloss because Randy had shoved Jinder Mahal into him at commentary earlier, which, I've never really figured out why people who come out for guest commentary get hit and then get mad about it. Like, you're out there at ringside. It's your fault.
It's typical fucking Vince. Vince is stuck in the fucking 70s. People badmouth Cornette.
It's not even that he's stuck in the 70s on this one. It's that you've done this so many times that, like, there should be a waiver when you go out there for commentary.
Yeah. Well, it's just people badmouth Cornette for being stuck in the past, and wanting to do hokey flag matches and stuff. Motherfucker, we had a flag match at the WrestleMania. Was it last year or the year before?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at Mania. It was at like Battleground or something. The Rusev Cena one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Battleground, I think. Not
was
Mania.
That not at WrestleMania?
It was not Mania, no.
Well, it felt like WrestleMania, but I mean, Vince is just as guilty, if not more, of beating all the horses to death. In the Hulk factor is huge.
See, I'd say he's infinitely worse, because like when Cornette talks about the old school booking, he admits that it wouldn't work now, at least.
But nobody tells Vince no, because Vince is busy eating steak.
Like in a nutshell, Cornette is in the same boat as Vince in terms of being stuck in the past to a degree.
Yeah.
But Cornette admits, I don't know how to make wrestling work now. He's the old senile grandpa who at least knows he's an old senile grandpa.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the backstage area. I enjoyed this, actually.
Very much so.
I enjoyed Sami Zayn, good buddy, angel on your shoulder, pumping KO up. I will lie down for you at WrestleMania or at Fastlane. Would sound cooler if it was WrestleMania, but Fastlane.
Fastlane-omania.
Then we had the Baron Corbin, you can't see me rip-off promo. You missed part of this, but it wasn't actually all that terrible.
Fair enough.
He was gonna beat John Cena so hard that John Cena literally couldn't see him. Then we had Nakamura do a backstage bit where he wished AJ good luck, and he wants to fight him at Mania and put his knee to a face.
WrestleMania.
This is when Rusev came in, and you have destroyed his voice. You have injured his neck. And
you break my Aiden, I break you.
It was a little gay, but it was cool. Rusev wants him at Fastlane, accepts, and Sunday will be Nakamura Day.
Dude, he hit that note really well.
He did. It was good. This was actually one of the highlights of the show.
Correct.
Then we had our Twitter feud match of the week, Becky versus Carmella. Becky wins with an armbar. Wasn't very good. Moving on.
Yeah, I kind of didn't really... As soon as I'm going to be honest with you, Carmella's on a permanent moratorium list for me. So I'm not watching a Carmella match unless it's on pay-per-view and we can't skip it. I'm not watching a Carmella match for probably another 3 years.
They don't know.
It's just not worth it.
The thing is she's not a very good worker. And the way you interest me in a really not good worker is to give them a compelling story. Mm-hmm. And she ain't got none.
Correct.
She's got the briefcase, and we're jobbing her out while she has the briefcase.
Yep.
So that
Which means
really
she will totally be claiming that title at WrestleMania, because that's the worst option. So that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it's not good. And continuing this, we basically had Naomi and Natty talk us into a Twitter feud tag team match at Fastlane.
For a pay-per-view, right.
Yeah, this was not good. It was not good.
You guys do know you've got a TV show for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Right?
To build things that I'm excited to see for a pay-per-view, and I'm not excited about tomorrow's Fastlane, really, at all.
Nope.
There's a little bit I'm excited about, but we'll talk about that at the end. Well, we'll talk about that when we're done with Smackdown, I guess. AJ, Dolph, little mic time before their match, and I'm like, yeah, this is clearly going to end up being the match, because look at the clock.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this, actually. I enjoyed this. The only problem I have with the storyline is Dolph. Dolph is basically blaming the fans, like, the fans will stab you in the back. I'm like, the fans never stabbed you in the back, Ziggler. They've been supporting you, and repetitively. Believe me, the fans are battered spell syndrome with you at this point.
Pretty much.
They keep buying into your push and then realize, oh no, they're not going to pull the trigger. Like,
correct.
There is one, well, I'm not going to say one man, because who knows, it could be multiple people in the back, but it comes down to Vince has not pulled the trigger on you. That is why you are where you are.
Also correct.
I was kind of interested that Ziggler's never had a WrestleMania singles match, which was kind of interesting.
It's fucking sad.
Kind of like the Usos talking about it, although even more sad than the Usos.
Well, to be fair, the Usos have had WrestleMania matches. It's just that they're always on the pre-show because no one wants to fucking watch them.
Well, I mean, you'd think being in the company that long, they could have found like a tag team over enough to, give the Usos a main card match at some point. They've been in a tag team picture match for a decade.
Well, they seem to be in love with all these humongously multi-man matches right now. Where was that like a year ago when you could literally throw the New Day, who were hosting WrestleMania, into the giant tag team colostomy bag, and the Usos. Were the Usos not part of the giant tag team colostomy bag last year?
They were not.
That seems surprising. You'd think that somebody's got to eat that pin, and they definitely have the Moose Bros in all of their pay-per-view
regalia. Well, they had the club
in
in there to do that.
That's, again, the worst decision you could possibly make, so that's what we're going to do.
And we get a pretty decent match. I enjoyed it. And then KO and Sammy come in to interfere, and we end up with a Fatal 5-Way. So we're giving away the pay-per-view main event minus John Cena.
Yep.
For free, everybody!
Freezies.
Basically, the match boiled down to 3 portions. We got the Baron kind of dominating because I'm the big man. We had Shane or Sammy and KO dominating because we're teammates. And then the get your shit in portion. And you want to cover the end of this? Because you were excited about the ending of this.
Oh, man, the finish. I don't know about the whole match, but the finish was fucking great. But you and I discussed it briefly, and your points are just as valid as my excitement. It's like they should really have done this either at the pay-per-view as the finish, because holy shit, can you imagine? The world would explode.
Believe me, my dick is hard at the thought.
The world would explode, and we were guaranteed, unless they are dumber than anything in the world, to have Zayn versus Styles versus Nakamura for the goddamn title at Mania. What the fuck? But they did it on free TV. I mean, it's a great go-home angle, tremendous, but the payoff for pay-per-view versus free TV, they've gone for the short money again that isn't there, which we just had that discussion, and we're like, okay, what is... So now your dastardly plot has been completely revealed, and I'm going to then untie the woman from the tracks, and we're just going to get away while you're busy jerking yourself off.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I don't understand what the thought process was, but in the moment, watching it happen, it was good.
I'm entirely on board with you. When Sammy Haluva kicked KO and got the pin, I was marking out. I was marking out hard. And then when the show ended, I'm like, let's go watch the Mixed Match Challenge. And Mixed Match Challenge, like, for some reason, Facebook Watch doesn't want to work properly for me, so it takes a while. But I got it eventually, but it's, I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. The whole storyline heading into the pay-per-view was that Sammy would lie down for KO. Mm-hmm. And we totally blew that off at Smackdown. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. Alright, I want to talk about Fastlane. Let's get this out of the way.
Do we have to?
We should at least give predictions and the little fantasy book.
Fair enough. Alright, so whoever made the Wikipedia page has it completely right. AJ Styles will win, Bobby Roode will win, the Usos will win, Charlotte Flair will win, so no title changes. Shinsuke Nakamura will win, and the only coin flip is, do you finally give Carmella a win for the first time in a year that didn't involve a man doing it for her? Or do you give the fans what they want to see and have Becky Lynch win?
The only thing I could see... I'm picking the Usos to go over the New Day, but I could see the New Day winning. It's a potential card shaker.
Yeah, well, I mean, and then you've got the team that can get the job done and always has got the job done because that's the way they're booked, versus the Usos, who people like? Question mark?
There are some big Uso fans out there. I've never personally gotten behind them. I'm not in the boat where you are. You think they're nothing, basically.
Well, they can work matches. I give them that, but they don't have personalities that anybody gives a shit about.
Just established people do give a shit about. We just don't understand why.
It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I guess you could put the title on Randy Orton. Well, I mean, they'll probably actually, you know what? They'll probably do that because they'll make Randy Orton a Grand Slam champion going into Mania, and then they'll throw it right in the toilet and put the belts on somebody else at Mania. That's how they'll do that.
My thought is more that Mahal will interfere in the match. We'll get some bullshit, and then Orton will get the Grand Slam title at Mania itself. That's my thought.
That's possible, but again, I don't know anybody who actually cares about Randy Orton, so
yeah, but Vince does.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my thought. Is Randy loses here or wins by like a DQ and Brood retains. And wins at Mania.
That's about it. I mean, there's not much else you can say about the pay-per-view. They've given away virtually everything.
Yeah,
and totally and handicapped themselves completely by booking Nakamura versus Rusev, so no one's gonna watch that. Or really, the only way out of that is to have a double face match where they both get their shit in and whip the crowd into a complete fucking frenzy, and then everybody gets over.
Yeah, this is a company that pushes Bobby Roode and Randy Orton as faces, but with the reaction that Rusev is getting, he's a heel.
Correct.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Alright, let's move on to Mixed Match Challenge.
You know, I thought I watched Mixed Match Challenge, and then I looked at the card and went, I don't remember that match at all. So maybe I missed Mixed Match Challenge?
Mixed Match Challenge this week was Team Little Big versus Team Uso. The obvious team doing the job here is the Usos.
That is correct.
We had the high five deal from Bliss again, where she like jumps real high to get that high five, showing that athleticism she never shows in the ring.
Correct.
Naomi, I loved Jimmy Uso really throughout this whole thing, because like during their promo beforehand, Naomi is like writing checks that Jimmy clearly can't cash, and his face shows you that he clearly knows he cannot cash these checks. And it continued here. It was the look of a man who's like, I really need my wife to stop talking right now because she's gonna get my ass kicked. I enjoyed Braun having to keep Bliss from going after Naomi at the start of the match with like just the one arm. Like it's so easy. Like no, we got this. Naomi dominated Bliss through most of this, and that is, again, that goes towards our whole talk about Bliss being booked incorrectly. She needs to get some shit in.
Give her... Invent some martial arts background she doesn't have. Invent something. Do something. Dear Lord, it's like watching a child kind of walk around and talk shit, but it's like her dad's the principal, so you can't beat the shit out of her. And
I'm gonna go back to the Reign of Terror here with Triple H, and this is not how you do a heel, but even this was better than this. Triple H was always like, I need help to beat Scott Steiner, Goldberg, the big face of the month. But when he went up against, the Booker T's of the world, the Rob Van Dams, the Bubba Ray Dudleys, he beat the piss out of them. And that was the thing. He was clearly a strong heel. That being said, it put guys like Steiner and Goldberg over just for him to be afraid of them.
Yeah.
With Bliss, I swear everyone on the roster is above her.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously way better than Carmella, but then fucking they've got janitors that are better wrestlers than Carmella.
Oh, probably. But anyways, continuing on. I enjoyed Jimmy kind of like trying to distract Braun enough to keep him from tagging in, and getting it blown up terribly in his face because he kept getting just shoved into barriers and shit and getting beaten up. It was pretty good. I thought the ending of the match here was, alright, so Braun throws Jimmy Uso into the security barrier, and grabs the steps like he's going to crush Jimmy. And Naomi is begging him, basically, don't kill my husband, in a nutshell. And then Bliss jumps her from behind, and I'm assuming, okay, we're going to get a roll up here, it's going to be a cheap win, but we ain't giving Bliss a proper win, so this is about as good as anything else. And then Naomi continues to beat her ass. What the hell?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, and therefore that's the way we're doing it.
And then the sad thing here is that they did do the roll-up finish where Bliss rolls up Naomi to get the win after Braun attacks Jimmy again and puts him through a table, which, where's the DQ, ref? And
where's the fucking rules?
Where's the rule? And yeah, it's like, oh, we did that, and the crowd kind of liked having Naomi beg for Jimmy, but we didn't end the match there. Well, let's end the match there later. And it's like, and the crowd's like, well, now we're not interested because Jimmy's been killed.
Jimmy did.
Although I did like the lead up to this is that Bliss couldn't get a tag to Braun, and she just yells, "Braun, do something!" And he's throwing a bit of a tantrum on the ring apron, like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And he's like, "I know," and he just rushes across the ring and kills Jimmy Uso.
I know, murder.
Also, the highlight of the match was Naomi at one point was doing the kicks to send Bliss out to the outside of the ring, and Braun caught her. So Braun catches her, he puts her back in the ring. She gets kicked out again, and this time when she lands on Braun falls down, and Bliss is basically mounting him in a very sexual position.
Buddy Murphy, take notes.
So, there was some good comedy in this match, but the character work sucked. Anyways, next we were getting Woo Day versus Lana is the best, Lana number 1.
Clap, clap.
And 205 Live.
And embarrassingly enough, I can't get to my notes because for some reason or other, Windows 10 won't let me Alt-Tab.
That is embarrassing.
Give me 1 second here. Do. Then we quit the game because fucking Windows. Yes, quit the game! Quit the fucking game! I swear to God, I was just charging some batteries on some stuff on Subnautica, and now I can't fucking do that. Hooray! Alright, I did have one note about the Zigglesworth, if I may backtrack. They almost have his entrance perfect. They almost have figured out accidentally what to do perfectly with his intro. If you've noticed the last couple of weeks, he came out and Shane McMahon was on the ramp, and he, screech, and then he comes out and there's no audio, no nothing. The crowd's kind of going, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And he looks at Shane looks at him, they kind of nod at each other, then his music plays and he goes down to the ring. This week, he came out with a microphone in his hand, screech, and then he comes out, no audio. The crowd's going, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And he has a microphone and he looks at it and he looks at the crowd and he kind of jiggles the microphone. And is he going to say anything? Is he going to say something? He's going to say something. He's not. And then the music plays and he goes down to the ring. So they've almost got his entrance perfect. They just need little things to do while that silence is happening. It can't just be silence.
Agreed.
So, that being said, that's pretty much all I had for that. We open up the 2-0 Sank Live with your boy Dave Andrews, Jim Andrews, some kind of Andrews.
Mark Andrews, the man.
Mark Andrews, all right. Bill Andrews versus your boy Andrew Garlic. It was a good back and forth scenario, and there was a spot where Gulak had backed Andrews up into the corner, and the refs were like, "Man, you gotta get out of the corner," which is so fucking annoying these days. Come on, it's modern days. We understand, ref. Just shut up and be there to count the pin. ECW had that completely right. So your boy Gulak slaps the shit out of Andrews, and the ref's like, "That is not a clean break." So I enjoyed the shit out of that. We had a random delete chant. Gulak got in some good power spots. And then it got really rest-holdy, and all the momentum was gone, and the crowd wasn't interested anymore, and they were just kind of plodded to a halt after, the last 2/3 of the match were just kind of, I guess it's still going on.
I kind of thought the same, and my additional problem with it is that Gulak wasn't really initiating a lot of the rest hold stuff. It was Andrews doing rest holds and stuff. I'm like, that is
What happened to the high-fiving and stage diving there, buddy?
That is not your game, and that is not your gimmick.
No, not at all.
I don't really get what that was about.
I did notice, and it's a completely understandable thing, but Gulak I think he was going to throw him into the announce table, and Andrews hopped up on top of it and slightly hesitated. You can see, because there's that slopey covering bit that covers the random like donkey porn that they're reading or whatever. And I don't know how well that thing's attached, because I see people flip that thing off all the time.
Yeah, it's not attached, I don't think at all.
So he jumps up on there, and you could see his whole mental process going, oh, go, okay, all right. And then he did a moonsault. So that was kind of funny. And to add to the rest holding, momentum losing weirdness, Andrews did a lot of weird aerial flippy shit that looked super duper soft. Like, it was just not. You're dropping your body weight with momentum on somebody, dude. It looked bad. It looked Carmella bad.
It was a bit of a shame, because I was really actually looking forward to this match. I thought this was like a perfect match for Gulak's, and no-fly zone gimmick, frankly.
Yeah,
and the fact that he would actually be a lot larger than his opponent and be able to do a lot of stuff. And
he did get a few spots in, but not too many. And when they were doing the rest holdy shit, it was not convincing me that he was stronger or more vicious than the other guy.
Yeah.
There was an I have a note here that says, overly complicated crucifix bomb. Drago wants his money. Anybody who's not watched any Lucha Underground, you should probably go do that, and you can watch Drago do massively overcomplicated things.
Drago's like 5-minute long pin the tail on the donkey routine.
Yeah, it takes a while for that guy to pin somebody. You got your boy Gulak got the win with the Dragon Sleeper. I would like to see him, if he's doing his new vicious gimmick, I'd like to see like an implant DDT, hold on to it, and then put on the Dragon Sleeper. I would like to see a little slam and bang, and then it's totally obvious that this guy's gonna have to tap out because he's fucked.
Yeah, that would work better.
I think so. We had ourselves a little promo package of Mr. Drake Spudrick hanging out with his favorite, with the Tempura Boys, I think. I think that's who that was. Hideo Itami's hair looked... I have a note here that says, Hideo's hair looks like he's ribbing the world.
Probably is.
It's just ridiculous. Not even questionable Corey Graves style, but ridiculous, sir. Well done.
Corey Graves is pretty questionable right now.
Correct. Tozawa is still over as fuck and has all the personality in the world. I think it'd be a good rub for Hideo. But my final note on this is, why is there a, quote, tag team on 205 Live? You got
no belt.
Who are they going to feud with? Kendrick and Jack when Kendrick comes back? That's the only other duo.
The Luchador team.
Well, I guess, but there's three of them.
Metalik, Dorado, and Kalisto.
Your boy Lunchbox Dorito.
Yeah.
We had an Ali promo, and he's still high as fuck.
Yeah, I called it getting crack in the back alleyway. Ali promo.
Yeah. Last week it was weed. This time might have been crystal meth, but it hadn't quite kicked in yet. Whoever shot this should probably be fired, because it looked like they were going to go for a night vision effect, but they only had 15 cents and a stick of gum.
Whoever edited this needs to be fired.
Yeah, it was not fantastic. And then we had the Japanese Connection, which I don't have a better name for them. I'm really kind of mad at myself that I don't have a cool, clever fucking name for this tag team. But
I just went with Japanese Pain.
Yeah, pretty much. The Japanese Pain Inducers versus the team of Le Jabier. One of them being Nick... They didn't call him Nick Nemeth, but it was something Nemeth.
Nemeth Alexander.
Okay, so he's a Dolph Ziggler, Cedric Alexander combo kind of unit there? Or?
He did not look like he knew what to do.
He looked like the only one who knew what to do on that team, though. The other guy is... I have in all caps one word, backdrop driver, exclamation point. They had this really cool double team move, which was a kick and a knee combo unit. Was that in the corner, I think?
Yep.
Then the flabby guy of Team Le Javier got in, and I have note. Was that? Okay.
That was Nemeth
I thought the other guy was Nemeth.
No, the other guy was like Scott James or some generic name.
Oh, I think you're confused. I think you got that wrong.
No. The unconvincing flabby guy was definitely Nemeth Alexander.
I reserve judgment on that one. I think, well, one of us is clearly wrong, but I think it's still you. So my note here says flabby guy eating the pin confirmed. I thought it was a good match. I could watch these guys tag whole bunch. And then at the end of the match, Nigel McGuinness did the patent pending Akira Tozawa, "You're fire!" And I thought that was funny as shit. And then he pulled a great mugging face at Vic Joseph when Vic just like shut him down. He's like, what? That followed up with a basic bitch promo from Cedric. "I'm a good guy. I am going to win because I work hard. Yay."
My problem with that was not even necessarily the promo, because, the basic bitch promo is fine, really. The problem was that we did all this, like, kind of, like, laying in the work for a possible Cedric heel turn with the whole Gallagher stuff.
Yeah.
And then we had the stuff with the Goldust, and it's like, that stuff just never happened because reasons.
Mm-hmm. We had the main event of the evening, which was your boy Murphy Lee versus Mustafa El Turk. No, wait, that's wrong. Bobby Murphy?
Buddy
Billy
Murphy versus Mustafa Ali.
Literally, Billy or Bobby Murphy would be better than Buddy Murphy. What the fuck?
Buddy Murphy is a pretty shit name for a wrestler.
That's like the white meatest, baby-facedest name in the history of the business, and he's a heel. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, the sad thing is, like, I was going to say, if his name was like Buddy or something, that would work, but his name is Matt Andrews.
That's so much. Why isn't he just Matt Andrews? He could team with Mark Andrews.
Matt Adams, pardon me.
Oh, Adam. Oh, okay. Well, make him Matt Andrews, and then he could be like Mark Andrews' wild, crazy Australian cousin.
That would be interesting.
That'd be a fucking great thing. And they even looks like not the same or like really even similar, but they got like they're pale, they're
pale, blonde,
fair complexion. Guys. Yeah, you could totally buy that they're cousins or some shit. This match was first of all, we started with a blown edit in the weigh-in. You clearly have your boy Spud doing, like, blew his line, did a 3-2-1 count in, and then did it again. Who the fuck works at this company? Jesus.
Also, the way in I found insulting, because they were trying to do this deal where, like, okay, Buddy Murphy weighed even lighter this time. He's in even better shape. I'm like, you guys don't know how weight cutting works.
Correct.
If you're weighing in, like, way below the limit, you're doing it wrong.
Correct. Yeah, if he keeps coming in at like 204.5, like every week is 204.6.
This time I thought it was like 202 or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it was like 201, I think.
Yeah, 201. It's like, you came at 204 last time, now you're at 201. You've lost 3 pounds, like you're in such a much better shape. No, he's not. He cut 3 extra pounds for no reason.
That's a lot of blown energy. There's no protein going into your system. You're probably just going to die in the ring. Yeah. This match was tolerable, acceptable. There was zero storytelling whatsoever. This was not Ali versus Cedric Alexander. This was just a bunch of moves that both of these guys know, and they did them in the ring.
The attempt at storytelling was Buddy Murphy doing the shh, let's keep secret.
Yeah, that lasted for all of 30 seconds. And it was like, they did try to do a little bit of storytelling later on when Ali went after Murphy's arm, but that was, I think that was like the last 2 minutes of the entire match or something. There was, I have, in all caps, I have a whole sentence going, Poison Rana, Tornado DDT, and that's not the finish? What the shit? Who's been watching New Japan?
The sad thing is the finish was also a freaking backslide.
Yeah. So I don't get that.
Like, this was this was a match between two athletes. And the problem is that since they're not actually fighting, you're not getting the enjoyment of that. Like, sure, it's kind of cool. Like, the 450 to the arm is an interesting spot. That's intriguing. Buddy Murphy is very fast and very strong. Like, I think there's a lot of potential in him. But, there was a complete lack of really any good storytelling here. And I think actually it sets Ali's character back because it's like, because the deal with Ali is like, well, he's so athletic, so fast, so aerial, and so on. And it's like, you've just kind of admitted that there's a guy on the roster bigger than him, stronger than him, who is better at all of those things.
Yeah, they specifically said that Murphy is clearly vastly superior.
And it's not like Ali can get around with like, well, he's got like veteran guile or like great heart or anything like that, because we've done nothing to establish that.
Yeah, nor did they could have even just said it. Like, oh, obviously Ali, just say Ali's been on 205 Live way longer. He's obviously got the edge and experience in that, that's all you need to say. That you say that one time and it's good. So did not do it.
Pretty much a fail on a lot of levels here. I appreciate both the guys doing some good spots. They were entertaining, but the match itself lacked a lot of connective tissue, and the storyline is dumb.
Yeah, so 205 was just kind of like, there was the cool Japanese connection match. That was kind of neat. It was, you get in, get your shit in, and get out. That was good. I enjoyed it with a nice little comedy touch at the end. But the first match really lost me after the first third, and the main event kind of just wasn't interesting at all. There were several points during the match where I was just not paying attention. And then one of the commentators would raise their voice, and I would go, okay, well, let me look at the screen now, because they're going to replay anything. They replay fucking everything. They're going to replay whatever was exciting. Oh yeah, that was kind of cool. And then my attention would just wander off again. So
I guess actually the Murphy Ali match also I think perfectly summed up the 205 failing. To be honest, is so we're watching smaller guys compete. There's the theory that that's going to lead to faster matches, more extreme stuff, etc. And they haven't given it to us. And this match was like kind of the perfect microcosm of, I think, their failure to realize this is, you just told me that a bigger guy can do the exact same stuff as Ali, so why am I not just watching the main roster?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are bigger guys that can do the same stuff as what you're letting Ali do.
Yep.
To be clear, Ali can do things that the big guys on the roster can't do. You just don't really let him do it.
Correct. Which brought us to the next XT, which we started out with AOP versus TM61 in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. The only reason to have this match at all is to put the newly returning TM61 over like a house of fire and move them on through the tournament so you can move AOP up to the main roster to answer the Bar's Open Challenge at WrestleMania. So they decided to do the wrong fucking thing.
Very much the wrong thing.
Why? Why?
If you wanted in this tournament to put AOP over TM61, you could have done it in a later round and it would have made sense and I would have been okay with it. But you had TM61, we'll put it as maybe like top 3 tag team in this tournament. Yep. Do the job in the opening round to the AOP. AOP doesn't need that rub. Like, if you wanted to do it with like some up-and-coming tag team to make a big splash, I still wouldn't be really much a fan of it, but you could work it in. But yeah, you had your biggest babyface team basically do the job in the opening round of the tournament to a team that didn't need the rub, probably is going to main roster anyways.
Yeah.
If you want to do this in the finals, sure. If you want to do this in the semifinals, even okay. First round, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. The only thing I can think of, and I haven't looked at the bracket. I can't remember who's in the bracket, but the only thing I can think of is that they're Authors of Pain are going to be putting somebody over in the finals and then going up to the main roster, the Raw after.
But that should have been TM61.
Yeah, well, what if the only positive I can pull out of this is the possibility that TM61 is the one going to main roster. Maybe. I mean, they've spent years in pro wrestling Noah. They're experienced. They know what they're doing in the ring. So maybe they're just like, whoa, this guy got injured. Maybe we need to move him up right now so that we can get some mileage out of their contract. That's the only silver lining I can pull out of this.
Possible.
Yeah. We had a brief William Regal sighting, followed by a Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong sighting. They're putting each other over. And then Michael Cole shows up with... oh, no, that was Michael Cole. Who was
Adam Cole, baby!
Right. The Panera Bread Playboy. So Adam Cole starts talking shit, and then Pete Dunne... I have two notes for this. I'm remembering all of this off the top of my head. My notes read, Dunne ain't got no socks, and Cole ain't got no wins. Pete Dunne was not wearing socks, with trousers that did not come down to his ankles, and shoes that did not come up over his ankles. So, yeah, basically, your boy Adam Cole starts talking shit, and then Pete Dunne says, well, fuck you, you ain't won nothing. Piss off.
Points at the rather poor booking of Adam Cole. Not that he should have won the... Like, I said this when we were watching. Not that he should have won the matches that he lost. He shouldn't have. He just should have had some wins in between them.
Yeah, that would have been good. So, yeah, it looks like we're either going to have a pre-distributed area versus Dunne and Strong.
Interesting idea. Maybe Dunne going face. That's a bit...
That would be, well,
bizarre.
Briefly. He can go face for a couple of matches and then immediately turn on Roderick Strong when it's done for.
That's true.
Or maybe they'll try and recruit Pete Dunne into the pre-defibrillated Generico. I still hate that name.
I would be fine with that if it ends up with Pete Dunne actually being the reason Adam Cole gets booted out of the era.
No, I just want him to be... This is
my shit.
Yeah, I guess. I guess you couldn't put Pete Dunne in there and have Adam Cole be the leader. I mean, that wouldn't really work. Mm-hmm. Well, that's food for thought. But I'm hoping to see some Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong tag team action. That would be hot.
That would be hot. Thick. I'm down with that against Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, or Adam Cole and Fish, or Cole and or the legendary Cole and O'Reilly team.
Brief spoiler alert. If you don't want news that is news, Bobby Fish is injured and has had to have surgery and will be out 6 months.
So Cole and O'Reilly then.
Yeah, Cole and O'Reilly then. So you could probably put Pete Dunne in there and it would be alright. They go to commercial. I think they went to commercial and came back and did this and went back to commercial, which is whatever. They announced Blanca Blair is going to be up next, which my note says gross. We come back to an EY Sanity promo, which was alright. Your boy Alexander Wolf did some stuff.
Alexander Wolf always does stuff, and Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross just makes it better by being there.
Indeed. And then we had what I have listed as Blank Stare versus Le Jabier. Again?
I mean, she's not really ready for full-length matches, I guess. That alley-oop bomb she does could be really cool, but it is...
It is not.
It just isn't.
She doesn't
get the height needed.
Well, she doesn't get the height, and there's no reason to take that fall. You just land on your feet. It's real easy. Like, she's lifting me up.
People do that all the time to reverse out of a powerbomb.
Yeah.
Like, if she can put some like proper oomph on that or something, it would make sense. But she don't.
No, I don't know. Like, she doesn't. She just lifts people up and lets them sail over her head, and you could just land on your fucking feet, and that's it. And the move doesn't work. The move falls right apart.
Jobbers can't because they're jobbers.
I don't. It doesn't make it any easier to watch. I have two notes here for the match. One is, what yak tail did she steal, and is it held on by staples? Please tell me yes. My final note is, fuck, that was lame.
That's more notes than I had. My only note here is the announcer fucked up. They're like, introducing first Bianca Belair, and then the announcer never introduces the jobber who's already in the ring. So
yeah,
fucked up.
Yeah. Then we had, I think, about 90 hours worth of tiny promos, and I wrote down nothing for any of them because after the third one, I couldn't fucking care anymore.
I wrote down notes for Lacey Evans being classy. Lacey Evans cutting down Dakota Kai, who she's having a match with. I'm intrigued to see if that's any good, because Dakota Kai is a pretty good wrestler. Maybe she can get something out of Lacey Evans.
That'd be good. Lacey Evans is not really disappointed. It's just that they keep booking her against shit wrestlers.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this will be good, because Dakota Kai is a good wrestler. So
yeah.
Hopefully that'll be good. And she left when Shayna Baszler showed up as like, I had better things to do than get my ass kicked by Shayna Baszler. That last part was silent.
Well, I mean, I always have better things to do than that.
Yeah, Baszler calls out Moon as a coward, fighting champion, not fighting me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it works. Mm-hmm. And I also enjoyed the last time at the at the Dusty Rhodes Classic, we were the baby veal, but now we're the aged meat, the beef.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy Machinery is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Heavy Machinery is great. Listen, if Heavy Machinery doesn't go deep into this tournament or win the tournament, I'm going to be peeved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming AOP will win the tournament since they put them over TM6-1, but I think they're at the opposite end of the bracket of Heavy Machinery, so Heavy Machinery AOP final, please.
That would be pretty sexy. And then we had Mr. Psycho Killer Ciampa come down to the ring. This was great. Except for that one fucking retard in the crowd who decided that he had to be more over than the wrestlers or the promotion and started to chant, Johnny sucks. Fuck you, you huge fucking mark. Eat all the shit. Every ounce of shit on the planet, go consume it.
To be clear, he's a self-mark, which is the worst kind of mark.
Yeah, which there are a lot of. What? I said that, what? Keep chanting the what, and you can all eat shit too. My
personal favorite with the what chant still is The Undertaker. Say what if you sleep with your sister? What? That's what I thought.
That is good. He basically, Ciampa replicated last year's Roman Reigns and got all the boos. He's carrying a microphone and his crutch. He got all the boos. Every time he made a move to put the mic to his mouth, more boos.
When I talk about drinking booze. Chance for, everything.
Yeah. And at one point, he just he got frustrated. The crutch went down. He's obviously moving around really well with the knee brace on. He dropped the mic. He got pissed, went and grabbed another mic. He dropped that mic too because he couldn't get anything out because the crowd kept booing him. There was he was on his way out of the ring there was this one dude standing up giving him the overly dramatic crybaby face. That guy was awesome. Unless, of course, he was the guy who was chanting Johnny sucks, in which case you only have to eat half the shit in the entire world. There was a plant in the crowd that had a Gargano sign, so your boy Ciampa grabbed the sign, fucking crumpled the shit out of it, took it back in the ring, beat the shit out of the sign with his crutch, and then stormed the fuck out. And he is clearly jacked. He has been lifting all the weights with the upper body.
Either that or been doing some other unconventional exercise.
Possibly. So that was pretty much spot of the night. That was all of the things that were good. And then we moved on to Aleister Black versus Killian Dane, which was not as good. Just wasn't as good.
I thought this was about as good as I thought it was going to be. Killian Dane's not a fantastic wrestler. There are some very good things about him, but there are some gaps in his game that I don't think line up terribly well with what Aleister Black likes to do. It was pretty decent. Black. There was a storyline of attacking Black's midsection and Black going over despite that. I did think that there were two considerable botches in the match where Black did his moonsault thing and either Dane was in the wrong spot or he was aiming for the wrong spot or whatever, because Dane had to have the oh shit, I gotta rush up there and actually eat this thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing was there was the weirdest snapmare takedown I've ever seen, because Dane just did a super soft snapmare to Black and went for a cover. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, well, maybe he's relying. It would have been better if they would have played up the fact. Oh, look how much he weighs. He could easily just do this. But
my thought is actually, I think that there was supposed to be something else to that, and they either someone forgot or they forgot where they were, and Black was like, "Well, just pin me. We'll have a moment to talk here."
Yeah, that could happen. Maybe they went off script and it's like, I just need to get close to you and feel the breath on my neck. Oh yeah. I thought the setup for the finish was really good. That they continued to make the Black Mass spinning heel kick a thing. It is, yeah, as it should be. And I love that everybody sells it like they just died, and they don't do like nobody kicks out, just like Fallout. No one kicks out from Fallout. Oh, Fallout's been kicked out. I just had a thought. What if War Machine's the one that answers the challenge at WrestleMania?
I would love it, but I doubt it.
Me too. That would make too much sense.
Because they really haven't allowed anyone from New Japan to immediately go to the main roster, except for AJ Styles, but AJ had all the TNA experience and so on.
Yeah.
But Nakamura had to stay in NXT for a bit. They put Hideo Itami down there. They put TM61 down there despite their Noah experience, So I doubt it. But it would be cool.
Indeed. That makes too much sense. They're not going to do it. Too much money to be made with a hot new tag team. Dang.
Because they're not really needed in NXT right now. You've got your hot tag teams like Heavy Machinery. You've got your heel tag teams with the Undisputed Era. You've got AOP down there for now, though they'll be coming up. TM61 is pretty over. And then there's of course the Street Hookers who are over. Fuck. Not with you and I, but they're over.
I still don't get it. These guys are brutally average ass rookies. They do nothing in the ring that's give me 2 weeks training and I could probably do that. Probably.
I could not do some of the stuff.
I might fail. I might look bad doing it, but I could do that shit.
I could not do some of the stuff they do because I am very vertically challenged in terms of jumping.
Yeah. Some of the jumping stuff, it would be. I'd have to have a short tag team to go up against, but but I mean the jumping barrel roll sissy splash thing. Please, come on.
Yeah, I don't get it, but they are over. They get responses. I think that they'd be dead on the main roster, and that's not even like the typical go from NXT to main roster to die. It's like I just don't fully understand what makes you over in the first place.
No, I don't. I do not get it. I just realized that maybe it looks like we're racist because most of the teams we don't like are of darker complexion.
I had thought of that before, but we rag on a lot. We rag on people of all ethnicities. I mean,
that is true.
Like for example, we rag on Carmella. We rag on Alexa Bliss. We rag on Bobby Roode face version. We like the heel version, but we rag on face version Bobby Roode. We rag on the booking of Bray Wyatt. We want to see better. That's kind of a different thing, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean specifically, I'm not a particular fan of the New Day. I don't really hate them, but
I love the New Day.
They've been
I don't
kind of pushed so much in my way.
I don't so much like the goofy gimmick New Day, but I enjoy their matches. They're really good. I was a big fan of all three of them separately before they put them together in the New Day.
You were the biggest Consequences Creed mark in the history of the world.
If I am, that's a little sad because I wasn't a huge one. Like if I'm a big mark for Remember the New Day, it's Big E.
You like them titties.
I enjoyed him from the moment he debuted because I wasn't watching Florida Championship Wrestling / NXT at the time he was there, so when he came out to the main roster it was big interest. But I thought he had one of the best opening nights. Maybe it wasn't his first night, but one of his early angles was when he basically came out to help John Cena against Paul Heyman's boys and sent them running, and then he's just yelling at Paul Heyman, "Who's the rookie now? Who's the rookie down?" I'm like, this guy is so over. Why did we not do anything with this?
But yeah, it's like the Usos. I don't get it. In my opinion, not very. They're good in the ring, but they're just there to take up space. They don't do anything that is, again, nothing different than I've seen any other tag team do. This is I don't even understand how they didn't put the Lunchables over the Usos. I have no idea, because the Lunchables are who haven't been on TV in weeks. Are clearly more athletic, more charismatic, more over by far, and they have a cool catchphrase.
I think just to wrap it up on this, like, because I've thought of this, because people who have watched our videos have mentioned sort of our general propensity for not liking a lot of non-white acts. I would say that we also like a lot of not, like, if race was a huge issue for us, I guess is what I would say, we wouldn't really like New Japan.
I was just about to say that. It's like, there's no way we'd watch New Japan.
They
don't even speak no English.
We wouldn't be a big fan of a lot of the guys we're big fans of in Lucha Underground. Wouldn't be a bit. We wouldn't constantly say how we think Roman Reigns could definitely do stuff if he was properly booked.
Yeah, no, it's getting harder and harder to kind of separate the shitty booking of Roman Reigns from just Roman Reigns, because it's kind of guilt by association. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I like Cedric Alexander, it's just that his current kind of white meat babyface thing isn't as cool as what he was doing with Goldust a month ago.
Yeah.
Or anybody else, or the angle with the Bitter Winter, or whatever the fuck. That was interesting, too. And his theme song fucking is, again, guilt by association. Drags this fucking mood down.
I actually have his theme song on my Spotify. It doesn't work as a wrestling theme song in any way, but like just as like walking home music, it's not too bad.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I only ever get to hear the first like maybe 40 seconds of it, so maybe it's a better song than that. But it sucks the life out of a wrestling arena.
Yeah. But I mean, if you just watch our WWE stuff, like, go watch your New Japan stuff. Like, I am the biggest mark for Tama Tonga on the planet.
Exactly.
One fan, Tama, shut up.
In little known fact, Mike actually has the God logo tattooed on both eyelids.
Yeah, totally.
But he never sleeps, so you'll never see it. But yeah, no, I mean, there's clearly. I just looked at a couple, like, we rag on a couple of black teams kind of hard. I wonder if that's the perception.
Yeah, I think there are a couple. Like I said, a couple people have like semi called us out about it, and just through whatever, not like privately, Facebook message sort of thing.
Yeah.
I can see where people are coming from on that, but I think on par, we like what we like, and that's not exclusively white people, and we rag on the white wrestlers as well. I mean, fuck The Miz.
Pretty much, The Miz is the persona non grata. I mean, I guess also I more than you, not into the Velveteen Dream, because basically he's ripping off 3 gimmicks, and it's very not good.
The Velveteen Dream for me is like the most inconsistent thing in WWE and wrestling as a whole right now. Like, I really enjoyed his stuff with Aleister Black. I didn't think the Aleister Black stuff was very good. But like, I love the match. The match was really good. I enjoyed the lead up to Cash's Oh No, although it wasn't very believable. But that's
none of it is
problems. And then I enjoyed about half the match. There was a little some disjointed stuff that comes along, but I was a big fan of him on Tough Enough, because
what was that match
honestly,
he had?
He was the one I wanted to see win.
The match he had with Tyler Bate, what was it, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That match, the opening part of that match was brilliant. Unequivocated brilliance in the ring. But then the last part of the match was, or the last 2/3 of the match again, just kind of fell apart. So I don't know
if you remember from our cast on that. I kind of thought maybe that was a little on Tyler Bate as a sort of, all right, this is what I can do, and this is what I do when you treat me like shit.
Yeah, and that's very well could be, or it could be that I don't know. I don't really know what's going on there, but it's that's a whole different story. And just to kind of even things up, I also hate the fuckboys. So I mean, can we get a fuckboys versus streetwalkers feud? And just,
I think to a degree, everyone hates the fuckboys.
Fair enough, and it's not just go. It's pretty much go away heat. It's weird that. Listen, if you're gonna do the gay tag team thing again, at least get some gay dudes, right? I don't need two big burly muscly men in a tiny shoebox car as your gimmick if you're not going for the gay tag team. Just be honest and clear about things. It's 2018. We're cool. Well, some of us are cool.
Some of us are cool. But they are in Florida.
They are in Florida. Things get hot and spicy, you know. It's not gay unless you go for the two-winged angel. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think we've gone down the rabbit hole far enough.
Pretty far, yeah. I mean, they need to have. Don't they need to do that? They need to have like a legit, like, homosexual kind of like a couple of them, right? But not as. Don't make that their entire gimmick. Don't give me Kwee-wee.
Don't give me Billy and Chuck.
Don't give me Billy and Chuck. Don't give me Kwee-wee. Don't give me like Buddy Rogers. Just like have them. Yeah, okay, cool. I like, I'm a girl. I like girls, but that's not my gimmick. It just happens to be a thing that's true.
They do have a lesbian on the main roster, Sonya Deville.
Oh, right. I forgot about it. Never mind. I'm talking out my ass there.
And admittedly, that's not part of her gimmick. Her gimmick is bad, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not good. But all right, fair enough. Kudos. Maybe they're moving in the right direction then, because 5 years ago, Sonya Deville would have been like, they would have shaved her head and made her more butch than Sonya Deville. And then there would have been a whole incest angle, because Vince with incest angles.
Yeah, probably. So,
I mean, I guess there's kudos to be handed out in that direction.
That is the show for the week, because I don't think we really have any other news other than, well, I'll throw it in there. Kimberly got released from NXT. That's Abby Lath, for those who are only familiar with her from the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, basically, why bother having talent on the roster when you can push people who aren't ready?
Yeah, it's a bit sad because they desperately need a supply of just veteran female workers to work with the not ready girls. The Bianca Belairs, the Vanessa Bournes, Lacey Evans to a degree, on and on. Basically, the girls that we honestly rag on NXT.
Yeah.
And to be clear, I think all of them can be good if they're handled correctly. I just think that the track record of producing solid female talent out of NXT without a long indie stay isn't really there.
Yeah, and that's been always kind of, not to go further on to a ramble here, but that's kind of been the problem with the Wobbly Wobbly Bee for almost its entire inception. Probably at least since I'm going to go like late 80s, sometime in mid to late 80s, where there wasn't really an independent scene. There was still, territories where guys would go to work and things like that until Vince kind of monopolized things. And then, well, back in the day, you would have a full-fledged gimmick. You would have fucking a Chris Hero that would go work. Where's ROH based? Are they in the Northeast?
Northeast, more or less.
So you'd have
Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, New York, that kind of thing.
Okay, so just if, say, the Wobbly Wobbly Bee didn't exist, you would have like the ROH territory, which is the Northeast. You'd have like FCW running the Southeast. You'd have somebody in Texas. You'd have a Midwest territory. You'd have things all over, and so you would have like a Chris Hero that would go from territory to territory, where whoever would pay him, the most, he would go there and work and be probably champion all over the place. And you wouldn't change your gimmick. And then when Vince ended all that shit and decided he had the monopoly on everything, he just fucking started doing everything he wanted to do. And if you came in with a fully fledged gimmick with, heat and or whatever behind you, and you were really popular, he would change your entire gimmick and job you out on TV and go, well, I guess these indie guys just can't work. Ho, ho, ho. And that's what happened with Chris Hero the first time he came around. When I heard that, I wasn't watching wrestling at the time, but when I heard that Cesaro a.k.a. Claudio Castagnoli, had signed with the WWE. I'm like, well, his career's over. Because they're never going to push anybody who's not way more muscular than him or way more athletic than him. Doesn't matter that he's the strongest guy with the best personality and a great moveset. Doesn't matter. And they're going to change his name to probably like Julio and claim that he's Mexican for some fucking reason.
They kind of did that. His original name was Antonio Cesaro, which I'm like, that's a
so he was supposed to be Italian.
Spanish-Italian. I'm like, he's Swiss, you idiots.
Fucking retards. So that's always been the real problem with the Wobbly Wobbly Bee. They just can't. They can't accept good. They can't have nice things. They can't have until very, very, very recently. They would not accept outside gimmicks whatsoever. You would not be able to have a Roderick Strong or Austin Aries or AJ Styles. They would definitely change his name. Man, you cannot have like a long-time rival promotional face of the company guy.
Well, I mean,
you can't have that on your show.
The proof of your point is basically, while they brought in a lot of WCW guys and allowed them to use their gimmicks, they didn't...
Well, they own the gimmicks.
They didn't... Well, that's the thing, but they didn't allow really any of them to get over. Booker T kind of did to an extent, but, the Scott Steiner, more or less burial, the misusal of Goldberg, Buff Bagwell. As much as I'm not a Bagwell fan, I mean, they killed that.
But he is the stuff.
They churned Rob Van Dam just basically into a stoner, which he was in ECW, but they took away all the things that I actually liked about Rob Van Dam in ECW.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, You can
he was the whole fucking show.
You could see that when they absorbed those promotions, and most of their careers went to die.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part. Couple of exceptions, but
part of Rob Van Dam's problem was himself.
Yeah, I'm not trying to exclude the personal responsibility. Part of Scott Steiner's problem was also himself. Part of Goldberg's problem was to a degree himself. But they were brought in by Vince McMahon to prop up. WWF is better. These guys can't compete with the guys I created.
Yeah, well, they couldn't compete, and therefore they will not be allowed to compete. So, yeah, so it's a nice change, but I still believe it's a real problem. I mean, NXT is sort of a systemic part of that, where you can't just take Austin Aries and put him on live TV. You can't, or Roderick Strong, or Chris Hero. No matter that Chris Hero could probably, I would say Chris Hero's really easily top 7 wrestler in your entire fucking company. He can go with anybody and make him look great or make him look fucking stupid. Your choice. You tell him what you want, and that boy can get you the job done. But they've held him on to NXT. I don't know why. And they've really kind of also held him off of NXT for a long time. So, like off TV. So it's still sort of a weird thing. Like, they're definitely going to have to change War Machine's name because they can't have an established gimmick with heat come off the indie scene and do well on TV. It proves Vince wrong. You can't do it.
Yeah, well, they let Leo Rush keep his name.
Yeah.
So,
well, but I mean, he doesn't really...
I think there's a softening on that, and they were willing to let Chris Hero keep his name. He took the Cassius Ohno name voluntarily the second time because he wanted to retain the rights to the Chris Hero gimmick should this not work out.
Well, yeah, exactly. They don't let you do anything. You have to sign your life to them. Like, you notice that Claudio Castagnoli is not Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah, but as far as I know, people weren't allowed to even use the independent gimmicks when they came in for the longest time. Like, the option, it wasn't even, if you sign it over to us, we'll do it. No, it was, no, you're not doing that. No, you're not doing that. Now it appears like, as long as you're willing to give the gimmick over, maybe not in perpetuity, but for a period of time, you're allowed to use it. And
I'm hoping hopefully it's just for the contractual purpose.
I don't even know if they're necessarily retaining the gimmicks particularly, because Austin Aries is working as Austin Aries again, even after getting fired by WWE.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm hoping. It's part of the contract that while you are signed to us, you can use your gimmick, but you can't use your gimmick outside of the company until your contract is up or you leave or whatever the fuck. Like, so no pro wrestling TV show.
Even some of the British wrestlers are using their gimmick outside of the company.
Yeah, but they're all signed to that contract. They're signed to that weird British contract.
Their contract, I think, contract is weird. I think their contract was based on the idea of that, like, those kind of clauses kicked in when they at the establishment of the WWE UK show, which hasn't really happened,
and probably will not.
Agreed. All right, let's wrap it up. We've gone down the rabbit hole hardcore.
Fair enough. I did one last quick thing. I did open the show with the Alberto El Pastor joke. There is rumors that El Patron will be coming back to the WWE.
Please, God, no. For all involved, God, no.
He apparently the story that I'm getting is that he was at the Wobbly Wobbly Bee offices because they were doing something about Rey Mysterio, and they were interviewing him because, of course, he's Mexican, and Rey Mysterio is American, so that makes total sense. And but they were, it was all part of that, and he happened to I'm hearing two things. Either he happened to be wandering past some offices and Vince was there and then they had a talk, or he specifically went to Vince's office and they had a talk. So who fucking knows? But that's it. That's the end of the show.
God, I hope not. So
fuck no.
Just to quickly say, pretty much a meh week in WWE.
Pretty much.
There wasn't anything that set me off like terribly angrily, so that's a win. But the amount of stuff I just didn't really care about was pretty high.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was. If I didn't love NXT and 205 Live so much, I probably would have just stopped watching after skipping through most of Raw and portions of SmackDown. That would have just been it. And obviously I skipped the Mixed Match Challenge because I don't remember anything there, but I thought I watched it.
So with that, as per usual, get the hell off Byron's lawn.
I'm not racist, just everybody get off the lawn.